All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Navigator 10G third Hong Kong esports tournaments. Once again, we just saw game one, Neo coming out on top with a confident win from Hunter. Now moving into game two, we talked about this a little bit beforehand, but looking at the rest of Kenson's classes, what is he going to bring out here? Warlock out of the picture, Druid, Mage, and Shaman left on the board. What do you think he's going to pick up?
I definitely think Druid is going to get played because he has some kind of heal ability from Ancient Lore, and maybe he can put in some more healing cards, such as healing a heal bot. Yeah, that's no. Wait a second. We're seeing Shaman versus Hunter here, but we aren't seeing. Oh.
This is looking like a pretty strong start for Totem Shaman. Instantly coining out the Totem Golem can be just so very oppressive, and an early game 3-4 is actually very hard for Hunter to deal with in this exchange. He's going to have to burn some removal if he wants to trade well here.
Okay, so Kenson decided not to deal with the Hunt Creeper, but to go phase instead. I think this is a very sensible play, because even if you kill this 1-2 Hunt Creeper, you still have double spider on the board, and decides decides use the King's Leg.
Getting that card draw, of course, winning out on the Joust.
And again, he decided not to deal with the Golem, but instead go for a phase. And now we see Kenson has a very strong, has two options here. One is playing Totemic Tusker, Tusker Totemic, or the Feral Spirit.
So Feral Spirit might put him a little behind. Overload can be a little bit with this.
He's playing more defensive using Feral Spirit here. And we see Neo has top deck a perfect counter to this Feral Spirit using the Houndmaster to buff up his Creeper. So it's always very risky to leave Beast on board, because those 100 Beast Synergy cards he can use. Kenson has no choice but to sacrifice his others Feral Spirit on the board.
And of course, looking like a pretty good position for this mid-range Hunter list. We are seeing Ram Wrangler come in, so there are some new cards in this list. Ram Wrangler, of course, similar to Tusker Totemic, a very RNG heavy card. You're not sure exactly what you're going to get. It can be very powerful, but it looks like that's a pretty aggressive move, starting with that so early on.
Another new card, Bear Trap.
We talk about Murloc Knight being very powerful, Thunderblood Valiant, of course, equally powerful, if not more so, turning all of those totems into bigger and bigger threats, especially with the Tuskar Totemic in his hands, in addition to the Manatide Totem. So we could see a very explosive turn if this is allowed to live, but it doesn't look like he's going to get the opportunity.
Oh, the Knife Juggler's hit. And I wonder if he's going to play the Bear Trap with Knife Juggler. Maybe he's playing around some kind of AoE. He does not want to play another Knife Juggler, so Kenson cannot just take all of his Knife Juggler with just one Lightning Storm.
Definitely.
But this is already a very very good board to pressurize Kenson.
What's he going to get? Oh, Taunt Totem.
Oh,
definitely not ideal.
Bad Totem.
I think he sees the Taunt Totem, knows that he doesn't have enough board pressure.
Wow, that's a great top deck from Neo. What a Doctor Balance.
It's a great situation to be in, because it's going to force either some removal to come out here, or it's going to force Neo to commit more to the board. And if he commits more to the board, you've got to Unleash the Hounds. If he wants to commit more removal, you're more than happy to set up again with Ram Wrangler. And mid-range Hunter still looking very strong after the most recent X-Pack. Of course, on the opposite side, though, Kenson, with this Totem Shaman, hasn't really got any of the synergistic cards out. And unfortunately, Overload is really playing against him right now, because he could play this Thunderblood Valiant and use his hero power and get that massive buff for the totems, but he just doesn't have the mana. 5 out of 7 this turn because of the Lightning Storm he had to play previously.
This is a really tough turn for Kenson, because whatever he plays, he cannot clear the board and perfectly address the threat of the Dr. Boom. And he can't even play his own Dr. Boom due to the overload effect.
And that's one of the big disadvantages, of course. Maybe why we don't see as much Shaman here is that it can be very explosive, it can be very powerful, but Overload can put you so far behind.
Oh, that's
RNG. Gets the Knife Juggler, gets the 4 damage Boom Bot. Neo looking unstoppable right now. The cards are in his favor.
He's the new RNG king right now. And the Knife Juggler Unleash the Hand combo is gonna take over his board. And it puts Neo in an unstoppable.
And it'll be interesting to see exactly what Neo wants to do here. If he clears out the rest of the board, he's going to have to Lightning Storm here. There's really no other option, but Dr. Boom is going to be left standing, and this is not a good spot for Kenson to be in.
If Kenson can top deck a big BGH, it could be a turnover for him. Alright, going face, getting Kenson's down to 14 health. This is looking not good for Kenson at all.
And actually, it looks like we've got this backwards, unfortunately. Sorry to the audience, but it looks like after game 1, we obviously had some overlay errors as the players have switched seat, but it looks like Kenson who actually, we got the pick ban completely backwards. So it has been Kenson this entire time that has been dominating.
So Kenson decide to concede. Oh. All right.
Okay. So in what is now a disastrous fumble, we have been unfortunately rooting for Neo, calling Neo out for the 2-0, but it's in fact Kenson who's been winning the whole time. We've had to swap spots, had some technical difficulties, so bear with us, but it looks like Neo falling behind very quickly, down 2 games already. His handlock list not working out very well for him. This Shaman, we talked about it being kind of an explosive but a risky decision, and it looks like at the end of the day, the stable, established list that is Face Hunter is just, or not Face Hunter, Mid-Range Hunter is just working so well for him.
Mid-Range Hunter is always a very strong deck throughout all the matters. Like, it has been a very strong deck since last year. And there's always new cards from each expansion that buff Mid-Range Hunter or maybe Face Hunter. We'll see how long can Kenson hold with his Mid-Range Hunter against Neo, and what will Neo bring to stop this Hunter's winning streak?
Of course, Druid and Mage, the last decks left on the list for him. But guys, we will be right back with Game 3 in this explosive best of 7. We're going to cut to an interview with HKA Neo, see his thoughts about the game, maybe his thoughts about Patron Warrior, or if he's willing to buy us all dinner if he wins.